how do you pick a problem when you do a startup? This is probably your nth startup experience, and probably your second startup. So how do you say yes to a problem?
Yeah, so that's a really good question. Like sometimes, there are a lot of folks who are actually trying to start a company, and then they start to go on a hunt for a problem.
Right.
Like, they talk to people, they try to see what problems they face, and like they land on some problem and then they work on it. But I feel like, that's a very difficult way of doing things. If you start with the goal of starting a company and then find a problem that you want to solve, oftentimes what happens is, as engineers, like, we're pragmatic, we have a lot of doubt, like, in our minds, we always question things. And so I've gone through that phase myself when I wanted to start a company, and then I would pick a problem because I hear it from a few other people. But like, I won't have the conviction in it, because you do research on it for a few weeks. You never like get that sense of how big is this problem, how important it is. You don't just have enough data, and then you sort of like things fizzle out. So I stopped doing that. Like, now I never actually am thinking about starting a company.
Yeah.
It's more, for me, it is more that like, you sort of, run into a problem, it starts to bother you a lot. And that's when you say, well, like, let me go and solve it. And that's what happened at Glean. Like, we were really struggling at my previous company in terms of just like getting answers to any questions I had. Like, I couldn't find any information. I couldn't find documents, that I wrote like, 2 days back. I could never tell who was working on what. As a leader, like as a founder of the company, like it was very frustrating for me. And like, it was a problem that everybody in our company was also facing. And so we said, well, like, look, we do have an issue. We have lots of knowledge, lots of data. It's spread across many different systems. And there's no one place where I can go and find things. Like the way I do it on the internet, like, just go to Google and find things. There's no such thing inside our company. And so it's a problem, that we were facing. And so we got excited about solving it. And that's sort of how Glean got started.
Wonderful. On that note, I do want to ask this question about how you went through education yourself. Here you are, you're wrapping your head around problems, a moving landscape. Agentic AI is just one aspect of it. There are a lot of things you're dealing with Glean, especially. How did you train yourself? What was IIT like? The roots of it. What made you so tough? One startup after another after another.
Well, I mean, I think first of all, like, IIT is a really, really amazing institution. Like most of my success, whatever I've accomplished, to that, education that I got, at the college. And I think like the unique aspects of IIT were, first you're among, a very, very, motivated and dedicated set of smart people. It's hard to get into that college, and you have to work very, very hard. So only if you worked hard you're actually going to make it into it. And it's extremely competitive. Like, people compete with each other, and like, they're all used to be, the toppers, the best students in their school, and now you have to fight with each other here and try to find a place for you. And it's a very competitive environment. And of course, like, it has world-class facilities, and you learn, like, you got great education. You also build a great network, like the network of, we have a very, very strong network of people. So like after you graduate and you do your jobs, like, if you want to be an entrepreneur, you will see this, very common trend that a lot of, like, IT people actually do become entrepreneurs, but their co-founders are going to be other people, like, from that same network. So I think that, like the school being small also sort of creates this notion of a closer, much more tightly knit community of people. Like, we have forums, we have like alumni meets, and we learn from each other, we help each other. So I think when I think back, like, like at my career, like, it's played such a foundational role in my journey.